Thanks for joining us on National Focus. I'm Tasia Floissac. Coming up, Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit devotes his Thursday to the Grand Bay constituents. A US-based dive company makes a second exploratory trip to Dominica, and the governor of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank discusses a new economic model. Stay with us for these and other stories after this.
Dominica is blessed with an abundance of water, but getting it to your home is an expensive venture. You have a responsibility to conserve water, to use it wisely. Remember the old adage, you never miss the water till the well runs dry. Think water, think life.
Thanks for staying with us. Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit decided to spend his entire Thursday in the community of Grand Bay to talk with constituents and assess their needs. Accompanied by ministers of government, including the constituency representative, Honorable Justina Charles, the Prime Minister surprised a number of senior citizens in their homes. Honorable Skerrit walked along the Lale Road, where $3 million is being spent to replace pipes, improve sidewalks and drainage, and resurface the road. While on that road, the finance minister stopped at the Grand Bay Credit Union to take care of important financial matters.
I've been persuaded by the president of the Grand Bay Credit Union to open an account at the Grand Bay Credit Union. So I did in fact open an account this morning in an effort to support the initiative there, because they're doing a pretty good job at the credit union there, you know. And they have persuaded me, they're discussing with me about setting up a member's retirement account. But I am not yet persuaded on that. So I shall continue discussions with them and to look at the interest rates and to see whether, you know, if I will ever get to age of retirement. But you have to prepare for that in the event that you do.
The nation's leader had also planned a meeting with constituents for later that day. Just before the start of the meeting, Honorable Skerrit spoke to GIS.
And of course today I have taken the opportunity to visit primarily some of the elderly in the greater Grand Bay area. And as I've been doing for many years, I take the opportunity also to have an office there in the constituency office. So I'll be meeting people in the constituency office in a one-on-one, of course, to discuss their own personal and family issues and to see how we can find solutions to this. There are a number of things happening there, and I'm here to visit and to see how the work is going on and see what more needs to be done so that the appropriate resources can be available towards addressing that.
The Prime Minister, who also chatted with the youth along the way, indicated that employment and education are matters high on his agenda for that constituency.
Issues of employment, and Luce Charles is working with the National Employment Program to create employment for a number of young women and young men, and they should start, God's willing, in the first week of February. Quite a number of them, and also an education program, because we need to ensure that they have the skills, they have the academic and technical qualifications. So through the NEP, we'll be providing them with classes during the day, so as to allow us to resit the CXC exams, those which they have failed, and also to expose them to some skills.
Parliamentary Representative for Grand Bay, Honorable Justina Charles, also addressed the constituency. She described the day from her point of view.
As you may have observed as we walk through the constituency, that people are very elated because PM has not visited for a while. We visited in Tetmon, we did a walkthrough in Tetmon, and because of the amount of persons we saw, we were not able to do the Grand Bay area. So today we did that walkthrough and visit some of the seniors, and you can see how happy they were to see the PM, because some of them are in, and while they look at the television, but they had not been able to make personal contact with them. So I think they are very elated and they are very happy that he could see the situation in which they live and see how we can further address some of their needs. It's an opportunity for us to look at the developments within the constituency, look at the Grand Bay Lale Road project as the WASCO just completed their phase, and so that we can look at the drainage and the sidewalks.
Honorable Charles also described her role in the process.
I think 2 days an opportune time for him to see as many persons as he wants, and I am willing to give them all their privacy so they can discuss all their issues with him, but I know sometimes some of them he may have to relay back to me, and I'm willing to work with them. I have taken notes of all the concerns raised, all the promises that were made, and we are hoping that I can follow through with some of them as early as possible, and we know some of them will be in phases, but we definitely will look to address it.
According to Honorable Charles, her constituents are the most pleased by the Prime Minister's move to take time off to visit Granby.
Honestly, very happy that PM could make some time to be with us in Granby. That's something that we awaited for long, and I think basically people are very happy that he was able to come up and make some personal and physical contact with them.
GIS will tell you more about that constituency day in Friday's newscast. In more news, the government of Dominica continues to take initiatives to educate young people with a view to making them ready for the job market. On Wednesday, the Employment and Small Business Agency of the Ministry of Employment, Trade and Industry met with residents of the Roseau North constituency to hold an opening ceremony for its landscaping apprenticeship and training orientation exercise. Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit, Honorable Julius Timothy, Minister for Health, and Parliamentary Representative for the Roseau North constituency and other government ministers met with the community to discuss the program, which will be undertaken in collaboration with the Dominica State College.
The Dominica Employment and Small Business Support Agency, a unit within the Ministry of Employment, is today partnering with the Dominica State College to deliver a much better program of certified apprenticeship training activities for young apprentices in highly demanded skill set areas with excellent prospects for employment, including sustainable self-employment.
The program will initially target the unemployed young men and single mothers of the communities of Stock Farm, Yam Peace, Tarish Pit, and Bellevue Roll. Alexander Stevenson, Director of the Employment and Small Business Agency, explains the main goal of this new initiative.
The objective of the apprenticeship program is to enhance job creation, increase local tax base, encourage private investment that can expand economic development opportunities, and refocus public spending on training by targeting vocational training and micro-enterprise skills on linkages with export sectors and promoting infirm training through the judicious use of financial incentives.
Dr. Donald Peters, president of the State College, expressed his enthusiasm in partnering with the government of Dominica in yet another program. The college has been recently involved in preparing young persons for employment in hotels in the north of the island. He noted that education is the best means of breaking the cycle of poverty. Dr. Peters added that a college education is not limited to obtaining a degree, but should involve assisting persons in the wider community to obtain various competencies.
Competencies is what drives the world. If I want to know how to change tires and make money, I have to go to school to do that. I don't need a degree. So if the Dominica State College teaches me to change tires, I become an expert in changing tires. Because there's a prescribed series of processes that you must go through that every other university in the world does. So when we say that you're good, you're good.
One young man who is encouraged and very impressed with recent employment opportunities given by government to young men of his community voiced his encouragement to the youth to remain positive and take the step forward to better themselves.
I've seen recently the government engaged in a road building project there, and we have 42 fellows employed there, and you could see the different reactions from the guys as they are working. I want to commend the Prime Minister and our Pal Rep for engaging in that project there, which is going to serve the community very well and serve the people of Stock Farm.
At the end of the ceremony, application forms were made available for immediate sign-up. Persons who attend this new landscaping program at the Dominica State College will receive a daily stipend of $40, a bank account opened on their behalf, and will also receive a Dominica Social Security card. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Skerrit has announced that the Dominica State College will receive an additional $1.2 million per year to meet increasing administrative costs. The Prime Minister made the announcement at the Dominica State College on Wednesday evening during a ceremony of the Dominica Employment and Small Business Support Agency apprenticeship orientation exercise.
I have given a commitment to the college that we will make an increased contribution of $1.2 million annually to the college, taking it from $3 million annually to $4.2 million. All of this get towards ensuring that our students can not only gain access to the college, but have the means of taking advantage of the access.
This amount will bring total yearly government contributions to $4.2 million. Prime Minister Skerrit said that while attracting resources is challenging, his administration has made a commitment to the proper education of Dominica's youth.
We have made this commitment to the college not because we have the money there, you know. So don't get me wrong, don't figure that we have the money there and the only problem Skerrit has is that he doesn't know what to do with the money he has. That's not true, you know. The demands are here and the resources are down there. It is in large measure by the grace of God that we're able to raise the resources that we need to implement what the people of Dominica has asked us to do. But it is also because of the passion and the compassion of this government that we have been able to implement a number of the initiatives that we have implemented so far in Dominica.
The government of Dominica has invested over $30 million in the facilities of the State College. Governor of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, Sir Dwight Venner, in his recently released review of the 2013 financial year, has explained a new economic model based on the revised Treaty of Bastille. The treaty establishes the OECS Economic Union as another facet of regional integration. Sir Venner says this economic model will serve the grouping of OECS countries as an Eastern Caribbean state nation.
This new arrangement allows us to contemplate a new economic model in the OECS based on the following premises: aggregation of resources, coordination of policies, increase in the quantity, quality, and competitiveness of production and output. Three agents are vital to the success of this model: the state or government, the private sector, and the financial sector. The state has a very important role to play in this new dispensation, but it must be complemented by the activities and performance of the private sector and the financial sector.
In further discussion, focusing on future economic development, the governor also suggested that OECS governments operate at a low cost and high efficiency ratio. He also said that government should formally engage the private sector in national development. Those suggestions emanate from the view that the year 2013 was one of slow economic growth in the entire Eastern Caribbean Currency Union, as well as the United States and Europe. Governor Venner revealed the IMF's prediction of an increase in economic activity due to the service sector within the countries of the Eastern Caribbean Central Union. Governor Venner's review, which has televised on Tuesday, focused on three main points: economic developments in 2013, the main challenges and accomplishments of the year, and the top priorities for the economic union in the near to medium term. 4 sales representatives of US-based dive company Aquatic Sales led a team of 11 on a second exploratory trip to Dominica with the intention of selling Dominica as a dive destination. The team, which will remain on island until the end of the month, is being hosted by the Discover Dominica's Authority, the Dominica Water Sport Association, and other partners. They have spent their days diving at some of Dominica's famous and world-class dive locations.
It was sort of 3-4 years ago, somebody came and said to me, why don't we, as a Dominica Water Sports Association, do a road trip where we would, drive around an area that had a lot of dive shops and promote Dominica within the United States. So we talked to Colin and Discover Dominica Authority, to their credit, agreed. And so we sort of threw the idea out a little bit. We were already working with Sea Life cameras. We approached Henderson Wetsuits. They were not able at that point, and they suggested we talk to Buddy and Joey Brown from Aquatic Sales. And they said, the best way to sell Dominica is not really you to go around and show photos and videos, but actually bring people there and bring the main influencers in the industry. And from there, that's where we stand today.
Dominica's Director of Tourism, Colin Piper, says the entire initiative fits in with the drive to bring in at least 90,000 stay-over visitors to the island by the end of next year.
As everybody knows, DDA is trying to get to 90,000 stay-over visitors by the end of the year 2015. And so we can spend our marketing dollars in a number of different ways. One of the ways we chose to spend marketing dollars was to invest in fam trips like this. Actually bring the decision makers down, get them to experience the destination, and then go back and sell it. And I dare say that it has proven to be a success, because, as Joey mentioned, of the groups that came down last year, I think about 4 or 5 have already booked, and they've booked groups. So for us, that means, additional people coming down. And so we look at it as a marketing campaign, albeit slightly different, but we look at it as a campaign that is generating results.
Joey Brown heads the visiting dive team. He says Dominica is currently the only island in the region being targeted for this venture.
We currently do not work with any other islands other than Dominica. And there's no better way to help promote an island than to actually get the store owners and decision makers here on the island to experience it themselves. We've done everything from the land tours to the diving. As far as the diving goes, it's top notch. And I'd like to thank Dominica for your hospitality. Everything has been amazing. It's got so much to offer. We plan on coming back soon and bringing more people with us. As Simon said, the first fam trip was a huge success for us, getting stores to sell it to their customers. Either people have already had trips come down here since the last one, or they have people signed up for the next 6 to 12 months to come. So with that goal in mind, and if that keeps moving forward, I think we have a very positive thing here, and would love to come back and do it again.
The partnership is anticipated to be a fruitful one, with Aquatic Sales selling group dives to Dominica. According to the team, they have been so far impressed with the quality of diving the island offers. Simon Walsh, president of the Water Sport Association, is not surprised.
It might surprise people to learn that we could actually, we estimate we're doing 3,500 divers a year. We could double that. All we'd have to do is create more employment. We have the boats, we have the capacity, we have the hotels, we have the rooms, we have the quality product, we have the excellent dive masters and instructors in the industry, and we could double those numbers. All it's going to take is good air access, good marketing, and working with groups like this where people are excited to come down to Dominica.
Aquatic Sales made its first trip to Dominica last June. That's it for the English segment of the news. Let's now join McPherson St. Luce for the Kweyol highlights.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à ces nouvelles en Kweyol. Non, moi, c'est McPherson St. Luce. Premièrement, le gouvernement Dominique a continué et puis programme sanitation. Parole celle-là sortie du ministre Kai, honorable Reginald Austri.
6 années qui passent, nous avons un programme sur home renovation and sanitation. Mais ça nous a fait nous concentrer sur home renovation et nous pas mettre de emphasis sur sanitation. Mais là nous faisons un assessment, nous voyons qu'il y a le monde Dominique qui pas assez sanitary facility, nous parler contre closet, le monde style latrine, there pit toilet. Et nous avons dit en temps ça nous avons vivre, nous pas pour servir pit toilet. Comme ça nous mettons un programme en place pour nous faire certain que tout Dominicien qui a un flushing toilet qui a un sink, qui a un bathroom et qui a un dit dans casio pour faire ça pour faire et pas pour sortir la pluie mais qui pas morder ou la pluie quand mettre des wavettes tout bagaille comme ça c'est pit latrine là Parce que nous avons tant arrivé pour le gouvernement même commencer à concentrer sur un sanitation programme. Et nous déjà 1.5 million dollars pour le programme ça là. Et le programme ça a déjà commencé en certaines communautés. Et nous avons travaillé 6 communautés avant et après ça, nous avons allé à les autres communautés là.
En autre nouvelle, membre parlement pour Tissavan, honorable Dr. Kenneth Darrow, fait présentation l'argent pour projet CAI et puis sanitation en bagatelle. Honorable Darrow, qui est aussi docteur médecin, est bien concerné contre sanitation en Wansala, raison l'argent présenté pour assister les gens qui méritent.
De 3 mois passés, le Premier ministre et le ministre des Finances ont annoncé qu'il a déclaré l'argent en les petites toilettes. Avec mon cas changé, il a déclaré l'argent ça là, il était de parti qui était oui, qui répond pour bêtises. Mais ça, pour moi, comme docteur by profession, ça compte pièce pour bêtise pour oui, parce que ça bêtise sérieux, because during moi comme medical doctor visiter ces vieux monde ces elderly citizens, senior citizens là caillou ces monde qui passe à move around bien et pour dans ces conditions d'ailleurs pour moi ça c'est pas un bitin pour oui moi j'ai fully endorse project ça là et moi espérer que project ça qui commencer oui, avec un tout petit coin Dominique. Et mon bien plaît pour annoncer que Bagatelle, nous allons commencer avec projet ça en Bagatelle. Et hier soir, avant hier soir, je présenté Village Council Bagatelle avec check $100,000 pour nous recommander ça commencer pour adresser situation ça pour aider les gens avec washroom facilities.
On a nouvelle membre parlement pour casser Bruce Honorable Johnson Drago qui a fait un report projet qui est implémenté en constituency là. Honorable Drago mentionné live casser Bruce projet Kai et puis chemin.
L'argent nous dépenser en live casser Bruce. Nous faisons ça quoi un dredging project en live parce que l'état délige avait autant appelé whole plat là casser Bruce ka flood live ka point whole place là. Moun ka pèt bête, fi ka pèt kaboudio, ka pèt cochon, moun ka pèt jardin yo. Et puis ça qui est plus important, c'est chimé pour aller maïgo goudou twanto ka boucher. So nous pour un projet pour dredge la rivière pour faire plier passer moun nan, et tout le monde content comme ça. Un autre projet qui est important c'est maïgo. Là quand nous ka parler, nous commencer travail ka fait couper chimé pour ranger pour faire caille 10 caille ba moun qui étaient affectés en désastre en area Maïgo pour petit souffrir. On le projet nous a fait encore c'est nous a fait un chemin ça qu'on un footpath pour aller à caille en même petit souffrir la Maria ba ka clair encore madame ba ka clair et nous a fait un gros chemin pour ayo footpath pour aller na kuyo ça a coûté nous plus qui $12,000.
Finalement, Discover Dominica Authority a avancé l'occasion tout un pays là où la touriste a visité, ça a créé tourist development areas. Parole ça la sortie au chairman Discover Dominica Authority Benoit Badwell.
Nous avons regardé différents développements qui sont en place en Dominique. Où ça va d'autres chemins, le gouvernement fait d'autres chemins avec pour faire un business touriste plié. Union de toi l'hôtel qui a en construction à présent où ça Dominique tapé plus bon palais d'autres hôtels qui à présent Secret Bay Rosalie Resort il a fait bien à présent parce que il a trouvé awards. So, nous avons dit comme que développement, nous avons plus de chambres qu'à faire. Au Save, il y a l'hôtel Portsmouth qui a construction à présent. So, plus il y a plus de chambres qu'à faire. So, ça bon pour les affaires touristes parce que plus de chambres qui a fait, c'est plus de monde qui sont restés à Dominique.
Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelle en Kweyol pour à présent. Non, moi c'est McPherson et Luce. Au revoir.
Our tip of the day is next. Stay tuned.
Together we build, together we strive. We see it all on your Government Information Service, Channel 7. This is the Government Information Service, bringing you all that you need to know about all that's happening in your country's development. GIS, you and your channel.
If you're like me, then you don't always finish the bag of potatoes when you buy it and end up having to throw them out as they start sprouting very rapidly. So here are a few tips I found out can help slow down the rotting and sprouting of potatoes. Step 1. Store them in a cool, dark place that will keep them dry away from the heat of the kitchen. Storing potatoes at cold temperatures will chemically change some of their starch to sugar and they'll rot quicker. Step 2. Store them with an apple. This is an amazing trick I didn't think would work myself until I tried it. There's a specific compound in the apple that slows down sprouting, so go ahead, try it out. Step 3. Don't wet them if you're not going to cook them, and don't store them near onions or bananas. This will encourage them to sprout faster. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm. Friend us on our Facebook page and be sure to like our GIS Dominica fan page. You can always catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. From all of us here at GIS, I'm Tasia Floissac. Thanks for watching and join us again next time on National Focus.